Watch that. Hello? Wait. Is that getting? Hold on.
Your first podcast appearance. Oh my god, I'm a huge podcast girl, and just yesterday I was like, I want to be on a podcast so bad.
Well, now you are.
This is actually like what do you?
It's a video podcast.
Yeah, it's like I don't put it on Spotify. I was thinking about it.
Where are you going with this? I guess.
Yes, we want to know what's the vision.
I don't know. I just
if you don't have one, it's fine.
I was
I
was thinking about editing them, cutting them down, and then making separate videos, and then putting out that relate, the idea.
Yeah.
But then I was I tried doing that with Hayden's, but me and him were talking not. We were talking bullshit the whole time.
Yeah.
So it did not work.
Yeah.
But maybe with this one, if we get into a good, because Trenton and I we did have I was oh, this is gonna be good.
Yeah.
And then it just all disappeared.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Fuck.
Dang it.
Okay, yeah, we're good.
You have all the equipment. You can do some cool stuff.
And that's this is Dylan's.
Yeah.
But it's fine. Okay. I don't know. One of you can hold it, and then you guys can just pass it between each other.
Okay.
Okay. Hi. We're here with Payton and Allison or Allie?
Allie's fine for the
Okay.
pod.
Okay.
One. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Payton. Do I look at the camera?
You can. It doesn't matter.
Okay. So my name's Payton. I graduated from Skyview High School last June, and I was gonna go to college at the University of San Diego, but I decided to take a gap year instead because Rona kind of messed with everything. So I worked on 2 political campaigns, which was really fun because I discovered that that's what I want to do. So I'm reapplying to schools right now, and then we'll see where I go next fall.
Nice.
I'm Allison, or Allie as Payton likes to call me. And yeah, a lot of my friends call me Allie. I was also supposed to attend college this fall, and then ended up canceling my enrollment this summer just because I was mostly excited to live with my roommate who I had met, and then they canceled roommates, and so I was like, okay, I don't even want to go anymore, and so kind of just pulled the trigger on that whole thing, and I got a job in the beginning of October. I work at a daycare, and I love it. And
you're incredible at it.
Oh my gosh, thank you. So it's been fun exploring that interest because I've nannied and babysat my whole life, and so actually just going and doing that every day and having it in a more structured way has been really nice. And I'm learning a lot. And then hopefully in the fall I'm reapplying to schools as well because I feel I have a lot better idea of what I want in a school now and who I am now and what school's gonna fit that. And so in the fall hopefully I will be at another college, and I was supposed to go to Central Washington.
Okay.
Not doing that anymore. And so I'll be at a new college in the fall, so wherever that is.
Okay.
I'll
Where'd you
be
apply?
Central Washington.
No, now. Not this time.
Oh my gosh.
This time
Northern Idaho is a 2-year in Coeur d'Alene. I've applied there and nowhere else. So I think we'll start there.
Yeah.
But maybe more. We'll maybe I'll think of more to apply to. But as of right now, I've settled there for right now. So.
Where'd you apply?
Literally a million places again. I applied to 3 schools in Texas, which is kind of outside my comfort zone, but so TCU, SMU, and then UT Austin. And then I applied to USC and UCLA, and let's see, where else? University of Miami and NYU. No, literally, no. The chances of me getting into any of those are so rare, but
Well, people get into I want to go to USC. And
I want to go. Okay,
Yeah.
do you even know this? Okay, so maybe the last 2 years of high school. Okay, I literally didn't shut up about USC.
I kind of remember.
Yeah, literally, and anybody asked me, I was like, "What? I'm going to USC." Am I cocky? Yeah. Anyways, I didn't get in, and I was heartbroken. Which obviously we're past that age now. We're getting college acceptances, but just for future note, or I guess if I could go back, tell myself don't get so excited about one specific school that's super hard to get into, because you're just going to let yourself down, like, no matter what. But I still loved it, and I just really like LA, which sounds like so cliche, but I just genuinely do. So I applied again this year in like one last final like plea, like to like let me in. I worked really hard on all of my essays, like I totally like revamped everything, and then I applied to UCLA, which I didn't last year. So I'm hopeful about that one as well. But yeah, literally it was just, it's funny looking back, because like literally when anybody asked me, I was like, no, that's where I'm going. Yeah. Like I was like, no, I'm like for sure gonna get in. Just didn't happen, but.
And why you want to go in like politics, right?
Yeah, so I don't know, I'm still kind of deciding. So I could either do, I'm interested in like the political communications route, so working on like kind of the behind the scenes of like political campaigns, because that's what I did like this election cycle. And I feel like it's something that I'm like fairly good at, like digital strategizing, especially reaching like youth voters. And so that was really interesting. And then I'm also super into like news journalism. There's this anchor on CNN that actually graduated from Skyview.
Oh.
Which is crazy. Anna Cabrera.
Yeah.
So, which is just like so crazy to me. Like someone being like doing that from Vancouver is just like, I don't know, kind of surprising. And so like I would love to be like a correspondent for like a major news network. I don't know, because I love talking, but I love politics too.
So
like,
good at it. Like, you're a really good speaker.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. So like it would like combine like those two things, and I just think it'd be really like fulfilling. So yeah.
And do you want to like, what do you want to do?
So I really want to go into public health. Okay. So like a lot more people know what that is now because of Corona and like the CDC. Like everyone's like, oh, like they actually like
they do stuff.
Yeah, they actually do stuff.
Like it matters. Yeah.
And I took AP Bio my senior year, and we did like a epidemiology like virus unit, vaccine unit. You took that class, right?
I didn't.
No,
I hated bio, so I did not take bio.
Well, funny you say that. I didn't like bio, but AP Bio, like I loved it. Okay. And the vaccine unit and like what we learned about disease and stuff, like it's just so interesting, and it's something that affects every single person in the world. And like I think going into public health, like not being like a scientist, but like I really like writing, and so being able to like not like write articles, like that sounds wrong, but like be the
like research papers.
Okay,
like, absolutely.
Like
no,
to be like the what's that called? The between like you talk between two people.
Oh, like the middleman, I guess.
Yeah, so there's like a pretty word for it.
There's like a scientific word.
I do not.
Oh my gosh, I always think of it when I like talk about this. But anyway, being able to like but like essentially the middle person between like the scientists are saying, you know, like if you live in this area, you need like this vaccine and whatever, and then like the people are like, why, like, what, you know, just like I would love to be able to take science and like talking to communities like together and like being able to like decipher like the science words, and then being able to help people help their families and keep their kids safe, you know, with like just like
that's important. Well, I know. Like that makes sense. I know exactly.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
like I just think it's so interesting because like every part of the world, every state has one like memorable like vaccine or like not vaccine but like sickness or like something that like you have to be aware of in the area, and I think it's just so interesting that like it's sad but interesting, like there's so many like sicknesses that like you know exist, and there's so many new ones all the time that it's just like how can we protect everyone and make everyone safe and healthy and happy, you know? And like I just I think it's so interesting, and like it's not like being a doctor, but like I feel like I'd be in such a more community level.
And like I think that's important because like people don't know like what. Yeah. Like a lot of people are just stupid and they don't know like when it comes to like that like vaccines and stuff. They're like scared. Well, it's like because they're like scared. They don't know. What and I feel like I don't even know if that exists yet. Like, what you're talking. I mean, maybe it does. I have no clue.
Well, I know.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I was literally having this conversation with my mom last night because my mom works at the hospital, but she's not like in that health. She is like an executive director for like comm or something. And I was saying I think the problem, or like one of the really big problems, is that it's hard to get like transparency from our like government officials and the CDC about like what do we need to be doing in regards to this vaccine, like how is this being rolled out, and there's not that like kind of communication. There's no one like relaying information to the general public in like a way that makes sense to us, like not having those sorts of degrees or like that kind of education. Like
liaison is the word I was thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
but I was just thinking about vaccines last night. I was also talking to my mom, and like polio, for example. There was a time when like the polio vaccine came out, and now it's not even a question whether or not you get that vaccine when you're born.
You can't go to school without it.
Yeah, and it's like, would you say I have a kid next month, am I not going to give them that vaccine? You know, and it's like same with corona, like in 20 years, are you just not going to give your kid that? You know, like it just that just doesn't happen. And it's like, not to go on down that road, but like,
no, I mean you can, like, you can, like, go ahead.
Come on, like, my sister is oh my god, okay. So I'm not gonna, no. So she's a very smart girl. Like my whole family, I'll just put this like out there. Like my whole family, we're like Democrats. Like I think we're all very educated, you know, whatever. And my sister, she has 2 kids, and one of her kids has some like gene or something, and her pediatrician is like a holistic pediatrician.
Wait, what is that?
What
does that mean?
It's like, how do I explain this? Okay, so like, let's say you have like an infection. Your first course of action with like a board certified pediatrician would be like antibiotics or like creams or something that's like certified by like, I don't even know who certifies those. Like holistic medicine is more like using things that like come from the earth or that are like organically derived to treat those kinds of things. Like a lot of people talk about like having cancer. Like, oh, if you put this herb in your body, like your cancer is going to disappear. Anyways, so my sister takes her kids to a holistic pediatrician, and one of her kids has this gene that the doctor said, or her pediatrician like told her like, oh, if you vaccinate your child, like this gene is going to turn into something, whatever, right? And then she found out that she had the gene, so she like doesn't vaccinate.
Hers.
Anyways, and so anyway, we were having this discussion because my mom is like so done with like coronavirus. Like she's gone into work every single day since March, and we were talking about like just the vaccine that like once it's available, like we're getting it. And my sister's like, no, I'm not getting it. And my mom was like, I'm sorry, what did you just say? My sister's like, I'm not getting it. I just can't risk that. And I was like, yes, you are. You are getting the vaccine. And it's just like, oh, there's just so much mistrust. And then with the internet and like, oh god.
I feel like once you go down that rabbit hole.
Oh my god. And it's so easy to like go down it too, especially if you're not educated, which like a large part of the general public, obviously we're not experts in like so many different fields, but like it's just so easy to go down this echo chamber of like, oh, this is the information that I need to trust. And like
what's crazy to me is like what's holding people back from getting this vaccine, like lining up, is like that approval, that seal of approval from the FDA, you know, because there's not an FDA approved vaccine yet. And it's like, why is that one thing holding you back from you know, like they wouldn't be giving it out already if it was gonna harm you, you know, like one little like whatever trademark or water stamp is not watermark is not like, it's the same thing, you know, like I also don't understand how, if they are giving the vaccine out, why it isn't. We don't need to get into this.
No, go ahead.
Next question.
Well, I mean, I just don't, like, if people just did like actual research instead of just like looking at like the headline, like, then they'll realize it's probably going to be fine. And I'd rather be alive than have COVID and die. And get the vaccine.
Also, I'd rather get a vaccine and risk like, I think the common side effects are you get like the side effects that you would get when you get like a cold or something. Like my mom, she's had like both doses now, and it was like she had like a headache for like a day or something. Like I would much rather have that and be able to like have a normal life next year than
just like vaccines in general. People say like vaccines give you like autism or something like that. I would rather take a kid with autism.
Thank you.
Then
I've said that
like, it
so
make
much.
Any sense.
I'm like, you would rather your child be dead than have a child with autism. I'm just like,
or be sick their whole life.
Oh my gosh,
I don't understand it.
Anyways.
And I don't know. Okay. Now I guess it's a good time to talk about. I'm trying to remember like all my questions. Okay, so do you still do the Miss America teen thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to talk about that at all?
Sure.
Okay. I guess like how did you like get into that? I don't know if you don't want to talk about this.
No, oh my god, I
I'm sure
don't
like
care.
people ask you about all the time, but yeah.
No, I literally don't care.
Okay.
So how I like got into it, I feel like I've said this so many times. It's just like kind of like funny how it happened. I was in bio class at Skyview, and it was my like 3rd week of school maybe, and like I was new to Skyview my sophomore year, so I didn't know anybody.
I honestly did not know that.
It's okay. Yeah, and anyway, it was Carson. I was sitting next to Carson, and she was like talking about this like pageant, like the Miss Clark County pageant, to like one of her friends. And I like asked her about it because I had like heard about it, and I just like wanted friends, so I was like a conversation starter, you know. And so we were just like chatting about it, and she was like, "You should like join," and I was like, "Okay." And I wasn't gonna do it at first because I was like, I still consider myself a feminist, but like looking back, I literally remember sitting in my room and I was like watching videos of it, and I was like, I can't do that. Like I was just like, this is just
what like
this is
exactly
not who I am.
about it were you like?
It just looked like when you're not a part of it, if you're like an outsider looking in, and especially I was watching a video, so it's not like I was like even there. I didn't know any of these girls. It just felt like very, just like kind of like girls parading around in dresses and just like smiling, and I was like, I just don't think this is like what I want to do. And then I like kind of, even though I still was like kind of weirded out by it, I was like, I just don't really think this is like something for me. I still went and like competed, and I won, which I was like not planning on doing. And then when I like competed at state is when it like kind of like hit that like a lot of these girls are really talented. And I think when you see it on the local level, not that the girls who compete on the local level aren't talented, it's just like when the higher up you move, the more you see like, oh my god, these are like girls that like have their lives together. They're doing like crazy cool things. So anyway, that was like my first year, and I went to state and I made top 10, and I didn't like move on farther than that, and I like got hooked somehow. It's hard to explain unless you're like in it. It's called like the pageant bug, which I like I hate, but it like literally is. And so I came back the next year and I went to state and I won, which is all I wanted. Like that was my goal, and I was like, I'm done. Like this is what I wanted. And then the Miss Washington pageant was like a month after that, because the teen and like the Miss are like separate, and we had 3 former Miss Americas on the judging panel, and I got to do a mock interview with them. And like interview is considered one of like most important parts of competition, because that's where you show like your personality, like your intelligence, all that stuff. And the Miss Americas literally told me, they were like or they told my director, they were like, you've got a Miss America on your hands, like something like that. And I remember being like so like shocked.
I didn't know you said that. That's really cool.
Lauralee, I'm getting so like nerdy. Anyways, this one woman, Lauralee Schaefer, she's like known as like this. You don't see them all that often anymore, but like Miss America used to have like a lot of like paraphernalia and stuff, and you can like find it in like thrift stores and stuff now. But she was like the face of the brand for like over 30 years. Cool. Like she was like the person. Anyway, so like she said that to me, and I was like, oh, okay, like maybe I should like try and like make sure, like I don't know, like try this out and like really give it my all. So yeah, and then I went to like nationals, and literally just the girls are so impressive to the point where like it's kind of like intimidating. Like there's girls, okay, so like this one girl, for instance, she's from Delaware. And so you have a platform, which is like your service organization, something that you do with like your title basically. And she calls herself the STEAM Queen. So like, but like STEM, but it has the arts involved in it. Yeah. So and I was like, oh, that's cool. This girl has been on like Steve Harvey, Dr. Oz, all these different, like The Talk. She's been on all these different shows. She's gotten like over like $100,000 in grants. She created this whole STEM program for impoverished kids in Delaware, like living in the projects, and she brings all these like science experiments to, like it's just like and she's 16, and I'm like, what the heck? Like it's just the craziest stuff where like this girl Hannah, her platform is like Kids Against Cancer, because she like survived cancer like 10 years ago, and so she like lobbies on Capitol Hill for like cancer research and stuff like that. And it's like it's just crazy to think about like these people are literally your age, and they're so passionate about something, and like, and then at the same time they have that, and then at the same time they're always like incredible dancers or like incredible pianists.
They have like talent.
Yeah, like, and so I'm still not sure like how I won. Honestly, like it doesn't quite make sense to me, but no, I'm being honest. Like sometimes I wonder like how the math worked. Like I'm like, did they make a mistake? But so that was like really cool. But yeah, that's probably like, I don't know, the coolest thing I've ever done. Like if someone was like, what are you most proud of? I'm like, definitely that. And then this is the kind of weird part. So with COVID, I was supposed to give my title up last July because it happens every single July.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask if it like happens every year.
Yeah, but you have to have all the state girls crowned, which means you have to have 50 state competitions in order to get to like the national one, and those couldn't happen either because it was like a major health risk. So they were like, you're just gonna have to like keep the title until we can have like a national pageant. And I was like, okay. And then a couple months ago, there was this like huge leadership change, and there was lawsuits, and it's like still ongoing. And I'm not gonna like get into that, but like just like craziness. And I had no idea what was going on. Like no one really knew what was going on. And so now, I'm not even getting into that because then I'd have to explain the whole thing. Basically, as of right now, I'm still like Miss America's Outstanding Teen. But I'm not sure when I'm giving up my crown next. Because we haven't had like state competitions, and I'm also kind of like in a weird limbo because the whole idea is that like the teen girl, whoever wins, you're still in school, so they'll get you like stuff to do on like weekends or like occasionally like weeks. But now that everything's shut down and that I'm not in school, it just kind of feels like I'm not sure what to do with it, and it's like, I don't know. I think that part is probably the hardest because I feel like I was chosen out of all these girls who would like kill to have this, you know? And I feel like I'm not doing anything with it because it's so hard with COVID, but I know like girls would like kill to be in my shoes. So, yeah, that's probably the weirdest part. And then the other odd part is that like I'm 19 now, and not that I'm not like a good role model or whatever, I just think it's hard to relate to some of the like 13 and 14 year olds that compete. And
because you're talking about like college and they're in like what, 7th grade.
And or like for instance, this is like kind of like a silly one, but like there was like a dress that I wore like a year ago, and it was like posted on this like pageant board, and they were like, what do you all think of this dress? And everyone was like, oh, it's too inappropriate, like it's too low cut, like blah blah blah. And I literally commented, and I was like, I'm 19. Like this, it's like for your middle like schooler, like, this would be like probably inappropriate. But I'm just like, anyway, so there's like that aspect of it too, and like I'll get like hate on like my Instagram and my TikTok because I'm posting like inappropriate stuff when it's really just like normal teenage
in a crop top or something. And it's
like I have on like leggings. And they're like, you're showing your body. And I'm like, what? So yeah.
Sounds fun. I mean, some of it does. I don't.
She's getting a thick skin.
No, I deal with the haters. So.
Wow, that sounds like kind of horrible. I don't know. Like getting the hate would be like obviously horrible.
It's not even like hate. It's just like this like weird.
Like kind of just like shut up. Like.
Well, like even my parents, they're like, like maybe you shouldn't have posted that. But like you don't deserve to be yelled at for it. And I was like, like.
Well, I mean, it's just like any other person. But I guess, I don't know, that kind of gets in the whole, like, responsibility.
Oh, yeah. With, like...
because you did it, like, during school last year, right?
Yeah, so I won it in the summer before senior year. So then I had it going, or throughout the entirety of senior year.
Did you have, like, a lot to do, like, during school?
She was gone all the time.
All the time. At first, it was, like, it's so weird thinking that school just, like, ended. It was, like, hard. My grades were really bad first semester just because I think like I underestimated how much school I would miss. Like I think total first semester, which I don't even know how many days that is. What is that, 90? Because the school year is like 180.
Yeah.
That'd be half.
I missed. We have 2 semesters.
Oh my god, I was thinking trimesters. Never mind.
I think I missed 39 days of school.
Okay. Like fully.
For that first semester. 39 out of like 90. So, and it just like, piles up really quickly, and then it's...
Well, this girl takes hard classes too, so it's not like you were like, oh, let me take the easier courses,
that was
you know,
just such a bad
she
decision.
challenges herself and like was taking on a lot besides just like being literally Miss America's Outstanding Teen. So yeah.
It's like a hype man. Like
It really is. No, I know. So yeah, like that was kind of hard. Oh my God! Wait, I just want to add that.
Okay, go. Crazy story. The world is like this big.
Okay.
Her roommate
was going to be my roommate.
Yes.
Oh, I was like, I thought you didn't go to school.
Yeah,
the girl that was gonna be her roommate that they met like through the Instagram.
We met
page,
through
right?
yeah. Okay, so Central had like a Instagram like freshman page, as they do. And okay, I'll tell this part, then you tell.
Okay.
And we're like talking, you know, just like, you know, like when you get to know someone, like it's like awkward and like whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Kelly, her name's Kelly. Hey girl, she watches. But she like reached out to me and we were just talking. Like it was like I had known her for 5 years when we were talking.
And like immediately?
Immediately. And I was like, oh, I've talked with like quite a few girls at this point trying to find a roommate, you know? And we were just like talking and we were both like, oh my gosh, we're both like roommate-less, you know? Like, can we like take each other in, you know? Like kind of like that. And then we got to talking about you somehow. Must have been like our mutuals, because she goes, oh, do you know Peyton? Or we were to like our high school or something.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, do you know Peyton May? Yeah. And I'm like, girl, get out. Okay, so now you go. You finish.
So Kelly and I were like childhood like besties.
Yeah.
So we started dancing together. We both did competitive dance when we were younger. So like, I don't know, like starting in like 5th or 6th grade. And me and Kelly were like such good friends because we were both like, not like bad at dancing, but me and Kelly were like both new to the studio and like everyone else. And so we were like, we kind of like stuck together because we were like, it was just like intimidating. And so we got to be like really good friends and we were like on competition team. We're good. On competition teams like a couple years in a row. And then, I stop laughing.
It's funny with our nails hit. It just made me laugh.
And then we've like stayed friends. And then it's just kind of funny because I started doing theater in middle school. And then after I moved up here, or down here, I guess, she started going to the same theater program that I did.
Huge theater girl.
Yeah. And so anyway, so we've stayed in touch. But it was just so crazy that like they connected without me even introducing
And the odds
them.
that we're such good friends and her and Kelly were such good friends. And like Kelly and I like immediately clicked. Like I don't know, it just makes me wonder like how many of your friends that you know from different things would they get along, you know?
Well, and it's so weird because I would have never like introduced them because I was like you guys have similar personalities and you're like both like upbeat and
but like I do sports and like have always done that.
And she's like a theater kid. And like I low-key am too, but then there's like other like I don't know, you know what I mean? So like I just never would have thought to like introduce them, but just like so crazy that they were gonna like room together and
it like in my heart I was like, oh, like I know she's like a good fit for me then, because like if you have gotten along with someone for so long and like they still like are in touch, you know, and it's just like,
which is like rare too. You like move away.
A lot of people like, just
there's so many people I just like don't stay in contact with, but me and Kelly like talk like all the time and and I like went. She was in The Little Mermaid like last summer, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, and she just sent a picture. And I was like on her story.
I drove up to Issaquah like with my dad, and I like surprised her at the show, and we like it was just like really cute. So we still like stay in touch, but I just love that
it's
like,
such a fun story. Like it's one of those like literally once in a lifetime like things for us to like seek each other out and then be like, oh my gosh, this like in a past life kind of, you know, like just like, you know, it's just so wild.
So crazy.
But
also this is kind of funny too. I'm gonna share the one about Amanda in London. You know?
Oh. Yeah, sorry, I was like, wait, my friends don't know,
so one of my really good friends from like theater, so like after I like knew Kelly, literally best friends throughout middle school. She lives on like Mercer Island, which is like in Seattle.
I know where that is.
So we were like best friends, and anyways, she goes to UCLA, and London Hibbs, who's the girl that crowned me, she's like a former Miss America's Outstanding Teen, so like the girl literally gave me like the crown. Anyways, very like different people, or like I thought they like I was like there's just no way they're gonna get along. London goes to UCLA too. And so I was like, oh, I could like introduce them, but I was like, I just doubt that they would be like very good friends. Yeah. And now they're like such good friends, which is so crazy because they're like just like not polar opposite people, but like Amanda is just like wild child, like just doesn't like obey rules and like just not what you would think of with like a pageant winner. Anyways, and like I went to UCLA a couple months ago to like visit Amanda. And, like, we all got, like, dinner together, which is just, like, I don't know, kind of crazy. So, anyways,
that's cool.
The world is very small, which I just think is, especially because London's from Texas. Oh, so the fact that, like, both of my friends from, like...
Well, and UCLA's big, too, so the odds of them even...
Oh, they just, like, met each other.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That's crazy. Yeah, so crazy.
I know.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyways, so, yeah.
Interesting.
Pretty cool.
That is insane. Okay, so you guys were class of 2020. So...
He's gonna make us talk about it?
Yeah. I have to, because I don't know, because my sister, she's still a sophomore.
Yeah. Oh my god, Amaya.
Oh, girl. Oh, yeah, we love Amaya.
Oh, yeah, you were
so
in ASB too.
We love that girl.
I like you guys too.
Oh,
love. But like, okay, yeah, I guess how was that? Like, how was that?
I'm gonna give it to Allie because she's more reflective than me.
So.
Okay, I guess like March 13th, was that the day?
Yeah.
Okay, like what was going through your mind, like March 13th?
We were gonna get piercings that day because 13 other.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh yeah, and I didn't have a 6th period, so I drove home.
Yeah.
And I remember, or I got like coffee after school or something. I just remember this very vividly. I like got coffee after school and then I got a text from someone that like school was canceled.
Yeah.
And everyone, I think a lot of people were like, oh, it'll be like 2 weeks and then we'll be back. And like, I just knew it wasn't gonna be that way.
Yeah.
Especially because my mom, like I won't shut up about this, but my mom was like, oh, this is gonna be like a long term.
Yeah, it's
like,
not gonna be like a 2 week.
Yeah, and I drove home and I was like crying and then I took a picture. It's in my Snap memories of me like flipping off the camera, and that is my last. Oh, and I took a selfie in the school bathroom that day, which I never do. I don't think I've ever once gone into the bathroom and taken a picture. But I think a part of me was like, this is an important day that I like need to document, and I was like, anyways, that's all I have. But
I was in sixth period. I had to be in credit recovery for my math class from junior year, and so it was like a really small class, and like a lot of kids just like always skipped, especially on Fridays, and it was 6th period, and so I was like getting help from the teacher like as usual, and then Mr. Tutora like came on the intercom and was like, "Hey, Storm Nation," and it was like, we're like no school for 2 weeks or whatever, and everyone like flipped out, like kids started running out of the wing and were like bye basically, and
oh my god, they were throwing parties, like the girls, oh my god, people were yelling, they were like, hey, party for 2 weeks, and I was like, you guys are dumb.
I know,
you're dumb.
And so my birthday's in the middle of May 16th, and so I was like, oh, like we'll be back before, like that's just like so
fine.
The way I like go through life is like I'm constantly looking forward to something, and I was like, oh, like I'll like, you know, like after these 2 weeks, like we'll be back in school for my birthday, you know, like no big deal, like by the time it's my birthday, that's what I'll be over. And it just didn't
happen.
We just didn't go back.
It didn't happen.
And what was kind of hard for me, I guess, I was senior class president, so I had a speech prepared to give at graduation, instead of giving it in the amphitheater to my entire like class and all their parents,
which would be like super emotional and like special
and actually cool.
I was really proud of the speech.
It was a great speech.
I like enjoyed writing it. No, I didn't enjoy it. It was hard to write, but it
was very like touching. Like I coming from like I would have enjoyed it like as a graduate. I would have been like it was like super meaningful.
And so instead we just like recorded it in like Mr. Tutor's office, and like it was like sent to
the video that
and
we
like
all
people
watched.
like could choose to watch it.
Yeah, but I'm just like I felt like so robbed of that, I guess, because it's just one big moment. That's like my only job as senior class president, and then I didn't get to do it fully, but oh well. Doing it somehow is better than doing it not at all, you know?
Can I add on
but
to that?
Yeah, go.
Oh my gosh, okay. So, it's kind of similar, not really. I wasn't giving a speech, but I was the like chosen person to like perform music. And I like picked a song that I thought was like, I don't know, like really whatever. Anyway, so kind of a similar situation. I literally performed it in like a dark auditorium, like literally the auditorium. There was nobody else there.
Oh my God, I remember you.
And I sobbed because I was so, it wasn't because I was emotional. I was just
uncomfortable and pissed.
I was just pissed. It was the fact that it was like, I mean, similar to you, it just felt like unfair. And it was, it was just, I don't even know how to explain it. Especially like for me, like I think music is this like really like touching thing, you know, that I think has like the potential to reach a lot of people. And like I would have just like killed to be able to like share that with the people that, you know, you like went through high school with. And so it was just, I remember being so upset that day. And then like,
what was the song?
It was you wouldn't know it. It was
undercover artist.
It's an undercover. No, it was a song from a musical, but it was it was about a girl basically that like she had a lot of like fear of failure and that she like never lived up to her peers. And then the song was about understanding that this was like a journey that they were all taking together, and that like you need to like savor those moments and like, you know, take a chance. Anyways, it was beautiful. Not like, I mean, like the song itself is like very nice. But yeah, I think that was just really sucky because then like we watched it from our living rooms and it was like we graduated.
You know, and there was like quite a few like ceremonies.
A lot
like
of different ceremonies
or something. Yeah, and so like I appreciated how much effort was put into like making it special for us.
They tried so hard.
Yeah.
But like
you can't like
would I rather have had nothing? Like I still don't know like how I feel. You know, like
really?
Yeah, like
well, because then we ended with the drive-through parade through Kiggins, which wasn't that the end of summer? It was
That was like August, I swear.
No,
August.
it was
August
like
15th. It was August 15th.
Oh my God, you're right, because it was way after we were supposed to graduate, and I was like angry, and I angry cried, because that's what happens when I get angry. And because I remember my parents were crying, and I was like, can you just shut up? Like, this is just not
special.
It's literally, you get out of the car, they like pull you up, and again, like no, they tried so hard,
like
and they tried so hard to make it special. But it was just like
circumstance. Like, you're not mad at them, you're just mad at the situation.
Yes, exactly. Especially because it was like, it was by yourself too. Like you got out of the car with your parents, and then you got back in the car and you left Kiggins.
Yeah, and drove home.
I
was so like numb at that point to things getting canceled.
Because didn't it get rescheduled like 4 times?
A few times. Yeah.
Well, because they had us convinced for a while that we were gonna have an in-person
ceremony.
Yeah.
By that point, I was just like, you know, if this gets canceled too, like, I don't care. Like, I was at the point where, like, my expectations for everything were so low that I was just like...
You're kind of just like...
and in August, like, okay, we graduated in June.
That was the other thing. I didn't even feel like I was graduating because I was like, I'm out. I've been out of high school.
Yeah, like,
Weren't people gone by then, too? Like, if you decided to go to college?
Weren't people gone? Oh my God, yeah. Like, part of our friend group,
Yeah, and like, already like moved away.
They were at
moved
school.
away, and so it's just like, I don't know. It was I was just already done, and like it's just so long after the point that it just like, you know, it's like, oh, you're trying again, and it's just like it's still not graduation, you know, and like, you know, I'll never like when my kids ask me about my high school graduation, what like. You know, like, it's history, but it's like, I never got a high school graduation, you know, like...
You know what made me, like, kind of sad the other day? Did you see this trend where people were like, okay, I literally did it, but it was like, show me a picture of, like, blank.
Show me a picture of what?
Like, show me a picture of blank. And then people would, like, put in something. Yeah. So I don't know, I follow a lot of, like, older than me people, I guess, and so many people were getting, like, show me a picture of your, like, high school graduation. And all these pictures, and I was like, God damn it!
Yeah,
like,
I
don't even think I have a picture standing or sitting in my car. I'm like, that's cute. That's what I'm gonna show my children.
I know, because me and I think it was Cole and maybe Will were having a conversation like, I think it was Cole. Sorry, Cole, but he was like. I would have way rather had this happen in high school. And I was like, what? Like,
oh my God.
Like,
no, he doesn't.
No.
Take it back.
Like, I was like, dude, like, and like, I don't know, like, college is cool, but
well,
you can't, like, you only get to graduate once and you go to prom once.
Yeah.
Or twice.
Also, you guys, okay, you didn't get like your full like freshman year of college, but like you got like a normal freshman, like the beginning. Yeah. Whereas like we won't get normal.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
High school ending, or well, we're not.
I'm not trying to like rub it in your guys' face.
No,
I'm just saying, like,
no.
It sucks. Like, you guys definitely had it like, very bad, like way worse than I.
Yeah.
Or
well, and then
anyone in college.
I feel bad for this year's class too, because
I
feel like
you know what?
they're just.
They didn't get anything.
I think about this too.
Nothing.
At least they were expecting it. You know,
that's true.
We were blindsided.
Yeah.
Whereas they were like going into it like, okay, you know, whatever. Because like I'm sure all of them. I sound like a dick, but like you know, like all of them had shit canceled too, like sports or whatever, musicals, ceremonies.
I think the uncertainty still sucks though.
Oh, absolutely.
Because at the beginning of the year, well, because what? So they pushed back football and they like pushed everything to the spring, and then they were like, we're gonna move all the like, you know, like low contact sports like earlier, and like
they had WIA had a whole like
whole
schedule.
Plan. Yeah, and so I think for a while kids were like, okay, it's just gonna like look a little different, and then slowly it's just kind of like started dying off, and the conversations have kind of ended about what we can.
I'm sure a lot of them too were like, oh, like by the fall, like we'll be fine, you know, like anticipating football and whatever other. I feel bad for only mentioning sports, but like that's just what I think of when I think of fall.
Yeah.
I know, me too.
I'm definitely glad I got out.
Yeah, you guys were just in time.
Literally in time.
God, that sucks. You know what I also saw, which is just like really sad in general, that first quarter, over 50% of kids in the Vancouver School District had Fs on their transcript.
Really?
50%.
Like this year?
Yes.
Shit.
Like, and that just like broke my heart, because
I mean, how do you like? It is hard to like try. Like, I do like sitting off my room all day. Like, it's fucking horrible.
No, yeah, like I
hated online.
Yeah.
Absolutely hated it.
Because everything feels like homework. That's
literally everything.
Yeah, because like,
I felt like I always had. I feel like I was never done either.
It was like, dude, I gotta do this thing.
Well, it's just like it's not even I mean, it is a routine, but it's like, at least with school, it was a change of environment.
Yeah.
Like, you got up and you went somewhere, and then
you could like hang out with people.
Exactly.
At school, whatever. But even like at college, like I'd way rather like sit in a lecture hall than sit in my like stupid room for like 5 hours a day.
Yeah.
How long were you there before you got sent home?
Yeah.
Pretty much beginning of October till March.
Okay.
I think I went home March 15th because.
Oh, so right after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they can't. I think UW was like the first school.
I think they. Yeah.
And then I remember I saw that and I was like, cool. But like, because then I was like, I can. I can, you know, figure out other stuff.
Yeah.
Like how to study for finals and stuff. But yeah, I think I was like the last, because Cole and Anthony went home. Okay, because like Cole and Anthony lived across from Will and I.
Okay.
In the dorms, and they went home first, and then it was just Will and I for like a week, and we went to Pike's Place, like, and that was so, because it was dead.
Oh my God! Yeah,
no
just
one was
completely empty.
Yeah, and I think I had to do like a project for one of my classes. I had to go around like interviewing people, and like no one wanted to like be interviewed. And I was like,
my
God,
God.
this is fucking horrible.
Yeah.
But then Will went home because I had to stay I don't remember why I had to stay, but I was there like for a day by myself, and like that was just like so boring because no one was there.
Yeah.
No one wanted to hang out.
Probably like eerie too.
Yeah.
Just like being so quiet with like everyone.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Didn't they have that big like outbreak around like Greek life though at UW? Wasn't that like later?
They had. When was that? I think that was like
this fall.
Yeah, that was like September.
Oh really?
Or something
okay.
like that.
The timeline just blends together in my head.
I was talking to Cole because Cole's up. He's in a frat right now.
Yeah.
He was saying. He sounds like this sounds like Donald Trump when he says this, but he was like, it's because like they've been like testing. It's because like they're very strict by like how they do their testing.
Okay.
And like no other schools are like that.
Yeah.
And he was like.
Which is actually true though.
That is true. Like that is true. Like if WSU and like Boise were like testing, like.
I think like, WSU only tests their athletes, right?
Literally, probably.
Literally everyone else is like a free for all.
Yeah. I remember like the first, like back in January, I got an email and they were like testing 3 kids for coronavirus. Like that was all the way back in January, and it was like oh yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah.
So dumb.
It's a huge thing. It fucking sucks.
I remember I was on a Miss America trip in Utah, and I travel with a travel companion because you're not supposed to like go with your parents. Anyway, her name was Lori, really nice woman. Anyways, we were just chilling in the hotel room, and she was like reading an article, and she was like, "You've heard about this like coronavirus thing?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, it's stupid." Like, cause they had just canceled one of my I don't know, they had like canceled something, and I was like, this is so dumb. It's literally the flu. I literally sounded like
No, I know. I literally.
Yeah,
it was bad. Like I was an idiot. I was like March.
Yeah. And I was like, this is just so stupid. And I remember Lori being like, I don't know. I think this might be bad. And I was like, no, Lori. Like it's literally you're wrong. And then I came home and I was like, damn it.
Yeah.
And that was like the end of February, which is so weird.
I remember like in March, April, we like at work we didn't have to wear masks, so I just didn't.
Yeah.
And then,
I don't think they even enforced masks until like months.
Yeah. And then
I'm trying to remember when masks were like.
Yeah, I remember at my work it was like mid-April when they said like employees had to wear masks.
Yeah.
And now everyone has to wear masks.
Has to wear
so it's kind of cool.
That part is nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad we live in Washington.
Oh my god, I know.
Yeah.
Well, our part of Washington too. But
our part of Washington.
Well, okay. I thought it was okay. It's pretty. It is better than like other places, but like, dude, at work, like.
No, we're a red county.
Yeah,
we literally are. I'm just saying. Like,
where do you work?
Trader Joe's.
Oh, I thought Trader Joe's would be like all.
Okay, that's what you would think, dude. We get like these people like daily. I don't even know if I'm supposed to say this because I work there. People come in without masks, and like just because like before we were allowing like the face shields, and yeah, that was annoying. And then now it's like you have to wear like an actual mask that covers your face.
Yes.
And people like they're going insane. Like, and it's like once a day. I swear my manager has to like deal something.
Really? Yeah. Like employees or customers?
Not employees.
Okay.
Customers, yeah.
I suppose.
No, just customers. Like last week, my boss got called, what was it? Chinese communist. And then she was filmed. And then this one lady told me, she was like, I was like, oh, because I work the door about like once a day probably. So it's like just like telling people when they can come in.
Yeah.
And then she had a face shield and I was like, can't wear that. And she was like, we have to like stand up to this. Like, and I was like, dude, what do you want? Like,
the virus doesn't care.
Yeah, like if we have a revolution against masks. Like, dude, what are you talking about? And then she was like taking pictures of the sign. I was like, dude, get out.
What are you?
Like, yeah, it's bad. People are like losing their minds.
You also work for like a corporation. Like what?
Dude, it's like, what am I supposed to do? Like.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I thought like once I started working there, I realized like people are a lot stupider. Like,
yeah.
It's not good how dumb people can be.
Yeah. My friend lives in Mississippi, which like obviously you could like expect that, but she tells me all the time. She's like, yeah, if I want to feel like the main character, I'll go to a store with a mask on. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
That's funny.
Yeah.
Or she'll get like insults like thrown at her, and I'm like,
it's like ridiculous.
It's absurd. Yeah.
It's like entitlement. That's like actually.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, and I wonder like for how many people are wearing a mask, how many people aren't, and like are obviously wear a mask, but like are these doing anything with how many people aren't wearing them?
That's what I think too. Yeah. Like, I'm like sometimes like I remember like back in August, that's when it was like really bad because we didn't like. We still allowed like the medical exemption rule, like we allowed those people to come in. And like some days I just wake up, I'm like, I don't even like, what is this doing? Because it's like, I'm not, this isn't protecting me, it's like protecting them.
Yeah.
So it's like, what the hell is the point?
I know.
If these idiots are coming in here.
Well, and then you think about like college campuses and like,
dude, that's kind of cool.
Just like everything, and it's like, don't they just cancel out? Like the people that are like wearing masks versus like the amount of people that aren't. It's just,
I don't know. I'm very like curious to see when this is all over.
I know.
Not that, I guess not the I mean maybe it is like the reaction to like all these people that aren't following the rules. Because it's pretty easy to put this thing on.
Really not. I know.
Yeah. I wear it 8 hours a day.
It's a minor inconvenience.
Yeah, literally.
Okay. Do you have to wear it? I'm assuming you have to wear it. Like, how's that?
All day.
Like, do the kids have to wear it too?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So kids are exempt until some things say age 5, some things say age 12.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a choking hazard for a
5
small
years.
child.
Yeah, for a really small child. That makes sense, though.
Like a baby couldn't fix it, if it's choking them.
Yeah.
And like as soon as a kid starts throwing a tantrum, like you think they're gonna keep that thing on?
No,
and do you know how many times a day a kid throws a tantrum? It's
I've
just like and so kids don't wear them, but that's our maybe like don't put this part in. I don't know. No. Our daycare is privately funded because her parents own it.
Mm-hmm.
So like she like I don't know the politics, but like some centers are like exempt from like what Inslee says.
It's like a private.
It depends on
Yeah, and all the parents wear them when they come in. All the staff wear them all the time. So that's kind of all I'm worried about. Yeah. But like also, if I'm not 6 feet, you can't say 6 feet. In my job, you cannot stay 6 feet away from the child.
Yeah.
Like I have to change diapers. Like come on.
Yeah.
Like if I'm already that close contact with them, like they don't need to be wearing one.
Yeah.
Like I am like occasionally bit, like kissed, licked every day, hugged, like
everything.
I feed them, it's just like I'm too close contact for them to be like, oh, like your kid needs to wear a mask, as if I'm not like pulling something out of their mouth, so they don't choke,
Yeah.
So but I was just saying like wearing one, it wasn't that hard of a adjustment. Like I had to wear one to the store or whatever, so just wear it for longer.
Have you guys thought you've had it like this entire time?
Yeah.
Quite a few times, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, okay. The day school got shut down, I was supposed to go to a party. And I told my mom, I was like, I feel like I kind of have like a fever. She's like, you're not going. Yeah. And so I didn't go.
Oh, yeah.
But I also get fevers I get fevers when I'm stressed too. Mm-hmm. And so like, maybe it was from that, but I was really sick. I'm talking about it. I was so sick at Thanksgiving. I was sick for like 2 weeks.
Oh my god, I remember that.
Very bad. And
she tested negative for everything.
Yeah, I got tested for the flu, strep, and COVID. Everything came back negative.
What's so weird about the COVID test and like annoying is that you can test like negative 5 days in a row, and then like the 6th day you'll test positive, and I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
I thought I had it. I think when I came home from UCLA.
Oh my god, yeah. Her parents are making her wear a mask.
I wore a mask in the house. Oh, so literally I had it on 24/7. Unless I was in my room and the door was closed. And I was convinced I had it. And my dad was like, you don't have it. And I was like, I'm not taking the mask off. And anyway, so then I like went and got tested, and I didn't have like they did like the full like symptoms chart, and I had like more like cold symptoms. So I think I probably just, because I get colds a lot too, so I was like, it's probably just a cold. But I thought this was so funny. I was scrolling through my Snap memories. So that same trip where I went to Utah, I have a Snap memory on my phone of me sitting in this airport. I'm drinking coffee, and I wrote on the bottom, like, about to go fly on a plane with a 101 degree fever. Like, the grind never stops. And I was like, I'm sorry, what did that say? And like,
yeah, you probably had COVID.
Maybe. We don't know.
Yeah.
The one thing that I think about is that, like, I think a lot of people get the loss of taste and smell.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if I don't have that, I'm not.
Then I think I'm fine.
I think, I'm not too worried.
She, like, texted me the other day. She was like, because she thought, well, she was like, I was with her, and then she was like, I can't taste or smell anything. I was like, oh.
You got COVID.
She tested positive, but then I got tested and I was fine.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah,
if someone says that, I'm like, you already know what the answer is.
And she's like, it might be allergies. I'm like, dude, it's not.
You can't taste anything. Yeah. Oh my god.
But back in like January, I remember I got like, because it was like Seattle, so it's like that was like where it started.
Yeah.
I got sick, and like, I'm pretty sure, like, I hate being one of those like, oh, I definitely had it. But like, I think I did just based on where I was, and then. Will, he got it.
Like the sickness? Or Will actually positive?
Yeah, the sickness. Yeah, he got
okay, cool, because they didn't know what it was.
Yeah, we didn't know what it was.
And sickness.
And then he's like lying in his bed, can't move, like for like a couple days.
Oh, God.
Just a day. Just like a day. But like, yeah. And then Cole got sick. Cole had like everything. Like he got like strep and like this weird thing all at one time. and Anthony somehow like made it out.
Okay, then it had to have been COVID.
That's what I'm thinking.
And I feel like the flu isn't that contagious.
Yeah, and then because then I went home for the Super Bowl. And then my whole family got sick, except for my little sister.
Maya's like, I'm built different.
Yeah. It's like loud.
Okay, we're back. What were you saying about?
Oh, just like I was literally in Tacoma doing that, and like.
And then
a month later, school was shut down. Like probably not even a month later.
A week.
I feel like a week. Yeah.
It
oh my
was
gosh.
like a short.
And we went to like the Tacoma Mall. Like no mask.
Like life was literally like perfectly normal. And then it just wasn't.
I think about what are things that you used to do that you can't even imagine doing anymore?
Okay.
Go to Nate. No.
I
I haven't been there in so long. Probably concerts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's like thinking about that is like disgusting.
Okay, but also when you went to concerts, would you share like water and stuff? Yeah. And you're like sweating all over people.
Dude, I'm like swallowing people's hair. Like
yeah.
If that were to happen like right now, like no way. That sounds like literally disgusting.
I know.
For me, like just like school, like that many people in one area, like especially Skyview.
It was the fact that I would hold the railing going down the stairs.
Dude, I'm like touching shit now.
Like, and then I would eat lunch
without like.
I'm sorry,
washing,
what?
Yeah.
And like or when I like literally everybody drank out of my water bottle.
Ew, me too. Yeah.
People would ask and I'd be like, yeah, sure.
I'm really, I don't want to say OCD, but like my phone, I like disinfect my phone every day now, and like with like a wipe, like when I come home from work, and like my keys, and like I just think about how many things touch everything, all the other things.
Like your hands touch.
My steering wheel,
everything.
Literally
like
everything.
oh my gosh.
Like, you don't wash your hands when you get home. Everything's got.
I also realize that a lot of people don't know how to wash their hands.
Yeah.
Just
I'll
like
be honest.
in general.
I mean, I've washed my hands for like 20 seconds before, but like, I wasn't like thorough. Like I was kind of just like this. Like I had this girl like like her whole routine, like knuckles, like I was like, dude, that's like
knuckles. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. My cousin was telling me about like one of his friends. He lives in New York, so they were like the hot spot, you know, whatever. And his friend was joking. He was like, I had no idea that was how you washed your hands. Like I didn't know it had to be like 20 seconds. And they were like, well, what are you doing before? And he was like, just like a water. And then just
ew. Water.
I was like,
I at least used soap. Like maybe it wasn't 20 seconds, but like
what would the water even do? You're just getting your hands wet.
Yeah. I remember like first couple of months, like my hands were so dry.
So dry.
God, I was just gonna say that when I started working at my daycare, I kind of wash my hands a lot anyway, like even pre-COVID, but like I wash my hands probably every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And my hands when I first started working there, like my first couple of weeks, oh my god, it hurt to like make a fist. Like they were so dry, so dry.
I remember like when Jay Inslee like announced he was like get like 2 weeks worth of food. This was like I think a couple weeks before it started. He said like get 2 weeks worth of food or something.
Oh yeah.
And because I worked up in Seattle, and dude, oh my god, it was like so busy the entire time. And then I was like kind of freaking out at the time. It was weird because I like freaked out and then I didn't freak out, and then I was freaked out. And like at that time I was freaking out, so I would like every like 5 seconds like hand sanitizer, and then I learned like, it didn't even do anything. I was like, nice.
You're like, great, awesome.
Great, it doesn't kill viruses, it only kills bacteria. But yeah, it was so busy.
Oh my god.
But, yeah.
So weird.
Yeah. I don't know what else we could talk about. I had like a bunch of other stuff. Fuck. Do you guys want to talk about anything? I mean.
I can't like think of it. We covered kind of a lot.
I know.
I feel like.
Okay. Do you want to talk about like what you did like for the political stuff?
Oh yeah. Sure. Okay, so I worked for a woman named Tanisha Harris who ran for state rep in the 17th legislative district, so like more like out towards like Camas Union area. anyway, literally loved her. Like, you know, the whole thing that, like, you know, a lot of politicians are corrupt, or, you know, anyways, and, like, this was, like, my first time ever working for anybody in this, like, field, and she was just so sweet, just, like, super nice to me. Allie met her because we were in, like, her commercial.
Oh, that's cool.
And she was just, like, so nice, and she, like, genuinely cares about people, and she works in, like, the foster care system. So anyways, and we were, like, so dead set that she was gonna win because, like, all the polls were in her favor, and she was running against Vicky Kraft, and I don't know if you know her.
No, I know.
Okay, so literally, I have, like, kind of connections to the Capitol because my mom used to work for Governor Gregoire, and so we, like, anyways, so Vicky Kraft is, like, notorious for just being the worst representative.
Piece of crap,
A
pretty much.
literal piece of crap. This woman is pro-conversion therapy.
Oh my
She
God.
is anti-mask. She's anti-vaccine. She is friends with white supremacists. Like, she...
Sounds like a great person.
And literally every bill that she's ever sponsored on the Capitol doesn't go through. Every single bill. They voted on a bill to lower the prices of insulin, right? All 98 members, except for her, voted yes. Like, she's just an awful person. And so my job was, like, a lot of the, like, boring stuff, like calling people, texting people, going to, like, community events, which we didn't have a lot of because of COVID. But anyway, we were like, it's a no-brainer. Like, no one will vote for this woman. If we tell people that she supports conversion therapy, like, literally voted yes on a bill for it, then, like, they won't support. And she still lost, and she lost by a bigger margin than she lost in 2018, which is just, like,
I think, like, people, like, now just, like,
crazy.
You know, they're just, like,
you know what I think it was? I think it's because across the water, all the Portland protests, I think people here didn't want that to happen, and they associate Democrats with, and I unfortunately think that's what happened. But anyway, so I worked for her, and, like, that was awesome. And then right now I'm working for John Ossoff, who's one of two Georgia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like the guy, you know, like Raphael Warnock.
Yes,
Okay, so those two. So I'm just on the field intern team, but then I also work on special projects for that. So basically, I just gather, like, stories of first-time voters, youth voters. So it's, like, kind of hit a lull just because it was, like, very different once we found out it was going to the runoffs, because literally, like, before it was a very, like, organic team. Like, this was just, like, a bunch of people that lived in Georgia, and then, like, a couple of people like me who, like, just wanted to help. And then once I hit the runoffs, literally every political strategist, like, across the country, including, like, at DC, like, flew out to Georgia and, like, went to work. So I, like, kind of slowed down in that aspect, but at the same time I met, like, quite a few cool people that work in DC and are, like, political and digital strategists, and I've been, like, working for them, which is really awesome to just, like, have that experience.
Just, like, getting your foot in the door, because like, she wants to be doing that anyway.
And it was just nice to, like, learn a little bit about all that. The one thing I do wish I was doing, though, is running John's TikTok page. Has he come up on your TikTok? This man has gone viral so many times. Oh, because John is handsome. He is, like, 32. Okay. That man is fine, okay? We were on a call one time with him. I had just joined the team, and we were on a call, and he showed up, and I was like, oh, okay. Anyways, and the TikToks are, like, good. They're, like, trendy, and
they're actually, like,
and I'm like,
cringy,
who is running this page, and can I help you? Like, I literally just want to do it so badly. Anyways, you should, like, I think it's
John Ossoff.
John Ossoff,
Maybe he has been on mine. I need to.
I probably, like, seen
There's a lot of, like, a lot of them have
I end up on, like, political TikTok all the time.
I do,
I think I do because of you. Like, cause you, like, I feel like you like what your friends like so would come up on yours.
So anyway, that's kind of, it's been hard to find stuff now, though, because, like, the election's over. And a lot of Congress people, or a lot of just, like, representatives in general, they want college students. They want college students in their junior or senior year, and, like, I just don't have that experience yet. But yeah, we're, like, waiting, looking for stuff still, but yeah, that was it. It was very cool though. Like I definitely enjoyed it. Yeah. Oh, and then also while we're just like on the subject, I also did this program through Harvard. It was like they selected like 40 kids to do this like get out the vote like youth project, and it was super intimidating because like I'm not in college.
Yeah.
And we had like joined the Zoom, and it was like every single or like 3 times a week or something, and we would listen to all these presentations from like really cool people. And we introduced ourselves the first week, and the girls in my group, there's like 10 of us, and one of the girls was like, oh, like I'm a junior at Columbia, and then the next guy was like, I'm a freshman at Harvard, and then I was like, I am in high school right now. And I was like, hey guys, what's up? And then they were like, well, what kind of like projects have you done? And like, again, just like really crazy cool people that just like doing really incredible things like on their college campuses for, you know, like getting out the vote. But anyway, so that was really cool too.
I hate getting put in situations like that when you're like the least qualified. And you just know,
sucks.
And you're like, fuck, dude.
But I mean, the fact that you've been in those positions, it's like, you can hold your own.
Well, I've never been in a position like that.
Yeah.
Where like, that's actually like something. More like just like a social setting where you know you're just like.
Yeah, but it's good because it also pushes you outside of your comfort zone. So you're like, and you're like, well, I deserve to be here. Like they saw something in my application. So, but yeah, it's interesting. Or like I was telling her, I got a LinkedIn because during quarantine, because I was like, that sounds like something I should be doing. And I ended up connecting with all of these like youth activists. Like I'm not really sure how, but anyways, so my whole feed right now is just kids getting into Harvard and Penn and Dartmouth, and I'm like, I don't have a status update to post like all these people. Like, okay, do you remember Settle for Biden?
Oh yeah.
Okay, the guy who founded Settle for Biden connected with me. And I was like, hey dude, like I haven't done anything, but okay.
Settle for Biden, oh my god. I kind of forgot about that.
Me too. It has over like 200,000 followers now. It's a lot. But
well, that campaign spread like a wildfire because everyone was
it really did.
Because I remember like back when Bernie lost, I was like, I don't want to. Like I was like almost like just I'm not voting for Biden. Like I'm not doing it. And then like I was like, okay, I need to.
I know. All the teenagers were like, okay, I guess we will.
But yeah, I remember just one of my friends from soccer, we were just like, no, we're not fucking doing that shit. Fuck that. And then, I realized I had to.
I mean, at some point. It's just, oh gosh.
What else can we talk about? You guys have to be anywhere, like at any certain time?
I'm dog sitting, and so I need to like feed them.
Okay.
And, like
at some point.
Yeah.
Okay. We can end it now. We have a lot. This is like.
I know we've been
talking for a while.
Yeah, it's like an hour.
Not rushing or anything.
15?
I'm just saying.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think. Wait. Yeah. It says 2 hours, but I know that's not true. I think it just messed up. There's no way it's 2 hours.
Yeah, there's no because we sat down at like 3:20 maybe,
yeah.
So it has to be like 1:15.
Anything else you guys want to talk about?
Okay. We'll finish it off with this. You ready?
I'm gonna make sure the camera's recording. Real quick.
Do you want to give me? I'll give you time to think.
Okay, yeah, we're good.
Most important lesson you learned from 2020.
Oh god.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And
why the hell did I think of that?
Yeah. What?
I know.
Important lesson. Okay, I actually came up with this pretty quick. I would say sorry. I'm like, thank you, Payton. I would say this year I learned to put my future self first. Not where I'm going to be in a week, not where I'm going to be in a month, but like when I was deciding, I don't even know, where to apply to school, whether or not I wanted to keep my like enrollment. When I was looking for a job, when I was deciding between jobs, when I was making decisions about, I don't know, personal things, relationships, like what was my future self going to look back and want me to have done, you know? I've gotten a lot better at like knowing when I'll regret something and like knowing how I will react to something if like I know it's gonna go a certain way and like not that I live in like like not like I live in a state of like protecting myself, because that's not a way to live, you know. But I think I've gotten really good at like just like what would my future self want, and like how is this decision going to affect me in a year, or like what will I wish I have done, you know. And I'm really glad I've done that, because I think that's a really valuable skill to have, and I think it's a really hard skill to learn. But I think with how many hard decisions I've had to make this year about like school and just like all of that, like it's a really like schooling is something that really affects your life and like the entire outlook and trajectory of your entire life. And like I think I would be a completely different person if I had kept my enrollment and, you know, like not gone through the process of applying and figuring out where to apply. Like this is kind of just relating to school right now, but like there's been many more instances that didn't relate to school of like thinking about my future self, and I think that's just like a really valuable thing. But I think
keep going, sorry.
I think that's the most valuable lesson I've learned.
Was there like a moment, like a specific moment, or was it just like the whole like year? That, like,
I think just like the whole year, kind of like it was just kind of a year of like difficult decisions, like, and I think being let down so many times because of things getting canceled or things not going the way I wanted, that like I've kind of I took what I could control and really like analyzed it and been like, okay, how can I make this the best for me, and how can I make this the best for future me, and what can I do right now to make future me more relaxed and happier, you know? And so I guess that answered your question.
Or it was her question, but yeah.
Yeah.
You wanna go?
Okay.
I'm gonna make sure the camera, like, cause I thought it was dark, or it's getting dark, so hold on.
I know. It's like starting to get chilly.
I know, my legs are cold.
There we go.
Okay, I would say I've learned a lot of different things, but I think probably the most important and like something that I also need to remind myself about a lot is that you can't change the past. The decisions you've made have happened, and you can let them fester and you can complain about them all you want, but they're not going to change. That's not going to change what happened. And it's up to you to decide how to move forward, and I think that's more of a testament to your character and who you are than anything else. How you deal with the circumstances that you're given and the circumstances that you've put yourself in. Because I think, I tell this to her a lot, like I wish I would have gone to school looking back, but at the same time, I also have no idea how school would have been. Had I gone, I could be in the same sort of situation where I said, I wish I didn't go to school, right? So like, even though that's what I think I want, and like I, you know, regret that decision, whatever that means, I can't do anything about it. Like, I'm not in school right now, and so it's up to me to decide what I do with these current circumstances and how do I make myself happy with what's happened to me.
I think that like every minute spent regretting anything from the past is like so wasteful.
So wasted.
Your present. And like
I think you should just like if you're gonna think about it, the past and like something you like a mistake you made, like instead of like you should just learn from it.
Yeah, it's all about how you move forward.
If you want to keep repeating it, go ahead. But I mean, you gotta like learn from it eventually. Because you're just gonna keep thinking about it, and then I think that'll like fester up into something bad,
Probably, yeah. And then no matter what, you're gonna end up unhappy because you're just gonna be thinking about whatever it is that you're upset about. So I think that's mine probably.
Yeah, I think it's just like the whole year is just like nothing really is like for sure.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what I've taken away from it. Like whether that's something that seems like finishing school or just like random friends or like literally anything, like, and like you don't really think it's gonna happen to you, I guess, until like it does. I think like that's like, I feel like who would have thought like this was gonna happen?
Exactly.
Who would have predicted this? Yeah.
That's another part of it is like things that are out of your control or that were out of your control. Like, why are you worrying about those either?
Yeah, because you like really don't have any control.
Exactly.
None,
You barely even have control over like your own body. Like.
So
it's like in a way, like you like. So I don't know, but yeah, that's a good point. Like you don't really have any control, and you can't, and you shouldn't like dwell on that. Yeah. I think that's a good place to end it.
I think that's good. Yeah, some nice 2020 reflections.
I should have thought of that. thank you for thinking of that.
Of course. That's literally, we are whores for like reflection conversations.
All
we
the
will
time.
not shut up about it. Just last night, we were like,
we were FaceTiming.
she was like, this phrase, let's analyze this. And we were like, okay.
Yeah, I've been trying to like journal, like to write every day.
Yeah.
And I just
like journal, like write, like journal.
Well, like I'll find like a prompt or something.
Oh, okay.
Kind of journaling. Just like I'll like find like a topic to like just like think about and like write about.
Yeah.
And I think writing is a really good way to like just figure out how you think about things. I don't know. I think writing's a really good way to get to know yourself.
I know you're like creative. Are you like? Do you like consider yourself like a creative person? I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it like through the writing or is it like through?
I like writing.
She just like because she's not gonna say this herself. She has a really like powerful way of putting things into words that I think a lot of people struggle with. Like I don't like journaling because like I know how I feel, but I can't put it into like something like moving or you know whatever. And like just the way that she like views situations and can like put them into words, I guess, that are like powerful, moving, whatever.
It's almost like translating it into words.
Yes, and like sentences that like you like feel inside. You know when you're like reading a really good book or like a really good song and you're like, whoa. And you're like, I couldn't write something like that. Like it's just really, really beautiful. So yeah, I think
so much.
So yeah, she just has like a really good way of phrasing that. Whereas like I really struggle with like writing in that kind of way.
Yeah.
So
I have like a hard time like I don't want to say talking, but I swear like sometimes I'll be talking like what am I about to say? I don't know. But yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah,
of course.
This is fun.
Yeah, this is fun. Yeah. Okay, I'm just